Welcome here into the studio, Eliane, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yes, you are.
Eliane, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
본인 소개 한번 부탁드리겠습니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 벨기에에서 온 엘리안이라고 합니다. Hi, I'm Eliane and I'm from Belgium.
Eliane, that's a beautiful name.
Thanks.
And we mentioned, we were talking about up in front that it's actually much easier to pronounce it in Korean.
Yes.
than
a
it
lot
is
of
in English.
people in English think it's Elaine, but it's a French name.
맞아요.
So, yeah, we say Eliane in French.
Okay.
And in Korean, we write that as Eliane.
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 It's a beautiful name. It really is. Well, because she is from Belgium, we did prepare a GD quiz. We have a geography quiz for our listeners. Another chance to win some free coffee coupon. 다음 중 벨기에의 수도는 어디일까요? 1번 암스테르담, 2번 브러셀스, 3번 럭셈버그. 답을 아시는 분들은 유료 문자 샵 1013으로 단문 50원, 장문 100원 보내주시면 추첨을 통해서 커피 쿠폰 드리겠습니다. Alright, well, Eliane, we were talking about, sorry, Eliane. I feel fancy saying it as well. Now, we were talking about couple looks and couple 반지, couple 템. 대해서 알아봤는데요. I mean, for you as well, you've been here, you said, for 5 years now. 5년 동안.
5년 됐어요.
네. 그래서 이런 걸 많이 접했을 것 같은데 처음에는 이런 거에 대해서 조금 문화 충격이었나요? 아니면 벨gium에도 이런 커플 아이템, 커플 룩 같은 거 많이 하시나요?
벨기에에서는 그런 거 많이 없죠.
아.
But me and my husband, when we were dating, we got couple rings.
아, you did?
커플링 남편이랑 샀는데 남편이 한 몇 개월 후에 잃어버렸어요.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
네.
What do you do with that? Is that like a bad sign, a bad omen? 막 그렇게 생각할 수도 있잖아요.
Well, then we got married and we just got wedding rings.
Right, that's right. 또 남편분이 한국 분이시죠?
네, 맞습니다.
What's the story? How did you guys meet? 한국에서 만나셨죠?
네, 한국에서 만났어요.
Wow.
네. We met in Korea. So when I came here, I didn't speak Korean that well. 저는 그때 한국어를 그렇게 잘하는 편 아니었어요.
근데 지금은 완전 너무 완벽해요.
그 정도 아니에요.
Yeah.
네, 그래서 그때 한국어를 좀 연습하고 싶었고
네.
이렇게 언어 교환 앱이 있잖아요.
네네네.
역시. 그래서 거기 다양한 사람을 만났는데 그 중에 네, 지금 남편이 있었어요.
와, 그렇게 소통하면서
네.
또 이렇게
처음에는
해서.
친구 됐고 we were friends first. And then bit by bit we started to like each other. And
아하.
we got together.
남편분이 처음 대시했어요? 오늘 밤 드셨어요? 막 그렇게 질문했나요? Or were you kind of the more forward gal?
아마도 남편이 조금 더 그런 것 같았어요.
Yeah. 어려운 한 영어를 그때 were you speaking in English and he was speaking in Korean?
No, my husband doesn't speak English. So his original intention was to learn English.
Right.
But I specifically wanted to practice Korean.
Right.
한국어를 연습하고 싶었으니까. So in the end, I learned a lot of
Sure.
Korean and my
Yes.
Korean improved a lot. But his English is
Still the same.
yes.
But that's great. I mean, we meet a lot of people here and how they end up learning Korean is always a different story. And for you is you came to Korea first
Yes.
without knowing much of the Korean language.
I learned Korean for 3 years at the 한국문화원 in Brussels.
Wow.
But yeah, there I learned some Korean and then I decided to come here and do my master's.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's quite impressive. And so you've done your master's here. You got married here. It's been 5 years. So seemed like you've built a life for yourself here in Korea.
I did, yes.
And you've also done so many interesting things. 촬영도 엄청 많이 하시고 또 수영을 대단하게. You're a synchronized swimmer.
Yes,
And
that's correct.
I've never met, is that the correct term, a synchronized swimmer?
It used to be, but recently it changed to artistic swimming.
Okay.
So, but synchronized swimmer, artistic swimmer, synchro, we all use it.
Okay, and so you've competed here in Korea as well.
Yes, yes.
그런 경험도 어떻게 참여하셨는지 궁금해요.
2019년에 그 세계 그 수영 전수권 있었잖아요.
네네네.
거기 광주에서요.
네, 맞습니다.
그래서 그때 마스터즈 대회도 있었어요. Masters is a non-professional competition.
Okay.
So as I am no longer actively doing synchronized swimming,
right.
I participated in the Masters competition and I got a silver medal there.
와우!
Yes. 은메달 땄어요. 네.
와, 저도 영상 한번 찾아봤는데요. 정말
그래요?
대단하더라고요. I've always been envious about synchronized swimmers because their bodies are beautiful, you know, their movements is beautiful. It is 정말 예술적인, 그래서 artistic swimmer, 수영하시는 분으로 그렇게 번역을 하는데요. It's quite amazing.
Even though it was non-professional, I was really proud of my achievements. 정말 자랑스럽고
Of
뿌듯했어요.
Yeah.
Because even though I was there representing Belgium, I wanted to express my love and appreciation for this country, Korea, as well. So I actually used music from the Korean drama God of War.
Right.
It's 무신이라는 사극이 있어요. 그 OST 섰는데 I used that music and I picked elements from Korean traditional dance, so 한국 무용. And then together with my Korean coach, we worked on making this really interesting mix of cultures. And I was really proud.
Yeah.
정말 그 한국 사람들 앞에서 그 이렇게 공연할 수 있었으니까 되게 뿌듯했고
그렇죠.
기분이 좋았어요.
네, 그럴 것 같아요. 정말 인터내셔널한 컴피티션에서도 이렇게 선곡도 굉장히 중요할 것 같은데요.
네, 그렇죠.
I mean, in other competitions as well, I mean, what is that song decision process like? I mean, what are the elements that you look for in a song to dance to or to swim to?
For me personally, of course, you have to look at rhythm. If the song is too slow, you can't make an interesting choreography.
I see.
So 너무 느리지 않고 너무 빠르지 않고
Oh.
you need to have enough variations to make a lot of interesting movements and a lot of special details that you can put into it. And
BPM은 어느 정도 빨라야 되나요?
저도 잘 모르겠어요.
Yeah. What's the fastest song that you performed to then? 제일 빠른 노래. K-pop 노래 같은 것도 해보셨어요?
네, 해봤어요.
와우.
네, 그래서 그때는 free 솔로도 있었고 테크니컬 솔로도 있었어요.
아, 차이점은 어떻게 되나요?
네, free 솔로에서는 그냥 마음대로 할 수 있는데 테크니컬 솔로에서는 테크니컬 엘리멘트를 해야 돼요. 그래서 그 테크니컬 엘리멘트 어느 정도 잘하는지
아하.
모든 사람들 쉽게 비교할 수 있잖아요. 뭐 얼마나 높은지, how high is your leg, how high do you come out of the water when
I
you
see.
boost, and these kind of things. So in my technical solo, I used music from 악동 musician.
Oh.
Yes, Dinosaur. So I really like that a lot.
Yeah, 악미 너무 좋죠. 너무 좋죠. Yeah. Now, you've worked in other situations underwater as well.
Yes.
Synchronized swimming or artistic swimming도 하셨고, 아쿠아리움에서도 아쿠아리움의 인어공주, 이 수중 연기자로 활동하셨는데 거기서 일하는 것은 어땠나요? 숨을 어떻게 참고 그 오랜 시간을 하는지 제일 궁금해요.
아, 그런 거 사실은 싱크로나이즈 수영, 그 아티스틱 스위밍 할 때는 이렇게
큰 호흡.
큰 호흡하고
네.
참아야 되고
그렇죠.
이렇게 해야 되는데 in the aquarium you have salt water, right?
네.
소금물이라서 몸이 떠요. So your body actually kind of floats in the water. So if you want to go deeper in the aquarium and you want to perform, you actually have to breathe out while you go in. So you have to go like whoo, and you have to perform on a half an empty like lung capacity.
그럼
I don't know
더
how to say.
어렵겠네요.
Yes. 더 어렵죠.
더 어려운데
네.
어떻게 참아요?
공기 빼는 상태에서 공연해야 되기 때문에
네.
그렇게 오랫동안 들어가는 거 아니에요. 잠깐 들어가고 인사하고 뭐 뽀뽀하고 해야 하는 것도 한 후에 그 후에는 올라가서 숨을 쉬고 다시 들어가는 거예요.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. I mean, how do you get that job? What kind of, how is the hiring process with that?
Well, I didn't actually know that there was a job like this.
Uh-huh.
Who comes to Korea and says, I will become a mermaid?
그러니까 극한 직업이잖아요. 벨기에 가지고.
그렇죠. 인어라고 할 수 있는 거 쉽진 않죠.
맞아요. You're a mermaid.
Yes. So one of my swimming coach who helped me with synchronized swimming, she's a veteran in this kind of work.
Right.
So 완전히 베테랑이에요.
네.
그래서 그 언니가 저에게 한번 아쿠아리움에서 뭐 알바 하고 싶냐고 물어봤어요.
Uh-huh.
그래서 저는 거기 가서 해봤는데 춥지만 많이 춥고
그렇죠.
힘들지만
물도 차가운데.
네, 너무 만족스러워요.
Yeah. I mean, you are a mermaid, you know. You've been so used to the water. You've been living in the water.
I am.
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable in the water than out
bet.
of it.
One last question I want to know. How long can you hold your breath for?
I have a static, so it means like not moving.
Okay.
Right. I think I got 3 minutes 15 seconds last time.
3분 15초 동안 물에 들어가서
근데 조금 더 열심히 해봐야겠어요.
That's incredible. 정말 미션 임파서블 탐 크루즈랑 같이 연기는 괜찮을 것 같은데요. It's a huge stunt.
Call me.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you're just joining us now, we're talking about Eliane from Belgium and talking about her life here in Korea. And because she is from Belgium, we do have a quiz. 다음 중 벨기에의 수도는 어디일까요? 1번 암스테르담, 2번 브러셀스, 3번 럭셈버그인데요. 힌트를 드리자면 이미 나왔어요. 슬쩍 나오긴 했는데 and to give you guys another hint, maybe it starts with the same letter as the country. But we'll just leave it at that. 샵 1013으로 답을 아시는 분들은 유료 문자 보내주시면 50원, 단문, 100원, 장문 추첨을 통해서 커피 쿠폰 드리고 있습니다. Well, let's talk a little bit more about your personal life as well. Now, you've been doing lots of stuff under the water, but you also have your own YouTube channel, and I saw a video of you 남편에게 장난을 거는 몰래카메라 같은 거. You pranked your husband, and that was such a funny video, and I feel like a lot of people watched it because it was such a cute video as well.
Yes.
But even with those, different, I mean, because we know that you are from Belgium and we know that your husband is from Korea, there must have been some sort of clashes along the way when it comes to cultures or families as well or anything like that.
I think a lot of people ask me this question, and while I go do television work as well, a lot of the writers, they want to know like, oh, what kind of problems do you guys have? What kind of cultural differences exist?
We want to know all about your problems. That's all we care about.
But honestly, we don't have that many problems. So every time they come to us and say, oh, talk about your problems, we just look at each other like, what shall we say this time? 우리는 그렇게 문제 많이 없는 것 같아요.
사이가 너무 좋아서.
네, 사이가 되게 좋고 서로에게 솔직하게 얘기하면서 노력 많이 하는 부부인 것 같아서 되게 사이 좋아요.
Oh, that's
행복해요.
great. That's so beautiful. I mean, what was his reaction to that 몰래카메라 incident then?
네, 그래서 제가 몰래 면허증, 운전면허증을 땄는데
네.
이렇게 차를 타고 남편에게 말하지 않고 옆에 앉으라고 했는데 그냥 가버렸어요. My husband, I got in the car and I got my driver license.
In secret?
In secret.
Right.
And I started driving and he went full panic.
Yeah.
Yes. He's quite a quiet and a little bit shy person sometimes. So he didn't go full out, I don't know, cursing or things like that.
Right.
But you could see his eyes quavering.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he was really shocked. He thought I was just going to drive a little bit, but I actually went onto the road.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those are always fun
많이
videos to
놀랐어요.
watch. 그러니까요.
많이 놀랐어요.
상상만 해도 뭐 누구든지 옆에 타는 뭐 친구든 엄마든 친척이든 몰래 그냥 없는 척해서 면허증 없는 척해서 그냥 타버리면 얼마나 놀랐겠어요.
네.
Are you planning to do more of those videos as well on YouTube?
I'd love to. 네, 촬영 더 많이 하고 싶지만 편집하는 것도 쉽지 않아서.
맞아요.
네.
Yeah, I mean, you have the 제일 어려운 게 자막이잖아요.
Yes.
And you do English subtitles and Korean subtitles.
Yes, that's one of the things that I think is really important, not only for people who don't speak English or don't speak Korean, but also for people who have problems with hearing and who still want to follow what's going on. So I think that putting subtitles is really, really important on your videos.
That's right. I mean, what kind of tips could you give for our very last question to people in Belgium who are wanting to come to Korea or anybody wanting to learn Korean?
Well, I think if you want to come to Korea, not just for a trip, but like with a long-term plan, I think it's really important to learn Korean. 한국어를 배우는 거 매우 중요하다고 생각해요.
그렇죠.
Yeah, and in order to do so, you really have to challenge yourself constantly. So try to practice with people and try to, engage in conversations and try to put yourself in situations where you maybe aren't 100% comfortable.
Right.
Because those situations will push you further.
That's right. And that's how you grow.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you very much for being on our show. But before we let you go, we do have to give our answers to our 2부 quiz. 다음 중 벨기에의 수도는 어디일까요? Talking about the capital city of Belgium. 1번 Amsterdam, 2번 Brussels, 3번 럭셈버그인데요. 맞히신 분이 있을지 없을지 7750님께서 정답 2번 브뤼셀. 제가 유럽 많이 갔었는데 베네룩스 국가는 못 가봤어요. 벨기에도 꼭 가보고 싶습니다. 라고 보내주셨는데요. 그러니까요. 내년에는 올해에서 내년 꼭 가보시길 바랍니다. 5302님께서도 브뤼셀, 4820님께서도 2번 브뤼셀입니다. Thank you. 마지막으로 4234님, 지니 재도전 2번 브뤼셀입니다. 시간 너무 빨리 가네요. 푼디님 쇼 조금 연장 거네 드립니다. 너무 빨리 가요. 유유라고 보내주셨는데요. Well, if it went too fast, you can always do 다시 듣기 as well. YouTube or audio clip or 팟빵, 아이튠즈에 한국어천재를 검색해 보시면 다시 듣기 하고 싶으니까요. 하실 수 있으니까요. Of course, tune into those as well. Well, thank you very much, Eliane, once again for being on our show.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
We'll have to see you next time.